Hello the Blues. Welcome to Chelsea Sports Focus, your home for everything surrounding Chelsea Football Club. As the summer transfer window unfolds with intensity, Chelsea are once again dominating headlines with high-profile moves, negotiations, and strategic planning. The latest wave of buzz surrounds Dutch international Xavi Simons, with the Blues actively pursuing a deal to bring the 22-year-old to Stamford Bridge from RB Leipzig. But despite this ongoing saga, there is a deeper, more pressing reality within Chelsea's transfer strategy. While Simons is a marquee target, it is increasingly clear that his arrival is not the central pillar of Chelsea's transfer priorities. Rather, the West London club's true objective this summer lies in reshaping, refining, and responsibly managing a squad that has swelled with imbalance and inconsistency over recent seasons. Chelsea's interest in Simons has been no secret. He has long been on the radar of the club's recruitment team, with his creative flair, positional versatility, and tactical intelligence making him a tantalizing option for any elite side. The Blues have initiated direct talks with Simons' camp, led by agent Ali Barot, the same representative who helped orchestrate Noni Maduke's recent shock move to Arsenal. According to those close to the negotiations, Simons is open to the move and sees Chelsea as a viable next step in his career. The idea of linking up with Enzo Marresca and becoming part of a long-term rebuild appeals to the Dutch midfielder, especially as he looks to exit RB Leipzig in search of greater consistency and responsibility. Talks are still at the stage of agreeing personal terms, and Chelsea are expected to continue negotiations over the coming days. Once Simons' side agrees verbally, Chelsea will then shift focus to reaching an agreement with Leipzig on the transfer fee. The Bundesliga club are reportedly holding out for a sum in the region of €65 million, approximately £56 million, which Chelsea are willing to consider, but only once they make further progress on player sales. The club's financial strategy is carefully calibrated, especially following recent sales of Noni Maduke and George Petrovic, which together brought in around £77 million. While that gives Chelsea a solid start, more outgoings are essential before any big additions are finalized. This is where the situation becomes more complex, and arguably more important than the Simons chase itself. Chelsea's top priority this summer is not just to buy, but to sell. Not just to acquire talent, but to streamline a bloated and, at times, disjointed squad. Over the past 2 years, Chelsea have stockpiled players under various managers with overlapping roles, competing wages, and often unclear futures. The result has been a squad full of potential but lacking in cohesion. Enzo Marresca, now tasked with sculpting this squad into a title-challenging unit, needs a cleaner slate and more tactical clarity. That will only come through exits, not arrivals. Among the high-profile departures currently in the works is Christopher Nkunku. The French international arrived at Chelsea with massive expectations but has endured 2 injury-ridden campaigns that robbed him of rhythm and form. Now, after 2 frustrating seasons at Stamford Bridge, Nkunku is understood to be pushing for a move. Interest in the 27-year-old is strong, both from within the Premier League and across European clubs. Chelsea are open to letting him go, having privately accepted that the original investment may never yield its expected returns. João Felix, another player who once carried the weight of promise, also appears to be nearing the exit. Re-signed last summer from Atletico Madrid after a previous loan stint, Felix failed to impress under Maresca's regime and was loaned to AC Milan in January to gain more playing time. The Portuguese playmaker, now 25, has struggled to find consistency, and Chelsea's patience appears to be wearing thin. The club has received concrete interest from the Saudi Pro League, while a return to Benfica has also been discussed. Felix's departure could be one of the more significant financial decisions of the summer window, both for his market value and the impact it will have on Chelsea's wage structure. Also on the move is Renato Veiga. Like Felix, Veiga was loaned out in January, in his case to Juventus, and has since been put on the market. At just 21 years old, Veiga is still seen as a player with future potential, but not one Chelsea are willing to wait on. Talks with Atletico Madrid are already underway for a permanent transfer, which would free up more space in an already crowded midfield. And then there are names like Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell. Sterling, once one of England's most electrifying forwards, has struggled to make a consistent impact at Chelsea. Injuries, tactical changes, and a general lack of form have made his time at the Bridge underwhelming. Despite his experience and pedigree, the club is prepared to listen to offers, although his significant wage package and limited minutes in the past year may complicate any deal. Ben Chilwell finds himself in a similar position. Once viewed as the long-term answer at left-back, Chilwell has seen his opportunities shrink and injuries return. If the right offer comes, Chelsea are prepared to let him go as well. Behind the scenes, Chelsea's recruitment and player development teams are also working on lower-profile moves. Samuel Smith, a promising 19-year-old defender, is in advanced discussions to join Strasbourg, Chelsea's sister club in League One. Personal terms have been proposed, and though a final agreement is still pending, the move is expected to materialize soon. Samuel Smith is reportedly enthusiastic about the move and is awaiting the final green light from his representatives to travel from Manchester and finalize the switch. This kind of move speaks volumes about Chelsea's long-term vision, a strategic use of the multi-club model to provide meaningful minutes and development for young players, rather than keeping them on the fringes of the first team. All of this underlines the broader theme of Chelsea's current window. While fans may be fixated on potential additions like Xavi Simons, the reality is that Chelsea's most important business this summer may come in the form of departures. Selling well, cutting down the wage bill, offloading injury-prone or underperforming assets. These are not glamorous moves, but they are essential if the club are to move forward. The mistakes of the past cannot be corrected overnight, but they can be strategically resolved through discipline, patience, and intelligent planning. Enzo Marresca has been brought in not just to coach, but to reshape the team's identity. That requires clarity, in the dressing room, in tactics, and in the makeup of the squad. It requires freeing up room for younger, hungrier players. It requires saying goodbye to big names who no longer fit. And it requires creating a financial platform on which future deals, like that of Simons, can be executed without risk or regret. Xavi Simons may well end up in blue by the end of this summer. If he does, it will be the result of careful groundwork, not impulsive spending. But his arrival, while exciting, is not the end goal. The end goal is transformation, not just of the team on the pitch, but of the club's entire operating model. Chelsea's top transfer priority this summer is not a player. It's a plan. And slowly but surely, that plan is beginning to take shape. Stay with Chelsea Sports Focus as we bring you continuous updates, tactical breakdowns, exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, and more. The revolution has begun. Stamford Bridge is stirring. The Blues are back. Eberechi eased from rejection to Stamford Bridge. Eberechi Oluchi's journey to the pinnacle of English football is one of resilience, perseverance, and self-belief. Born on the 29th of June 1998 in Greenwich, southeast London, to Nigerian parents, Ease grew up in a vibrant but challenging environment where football quickly became his refuge. From a young age, Ease displayed immense talent. He played street football with friends and often competed with his two brothers, one of whom also pursued a semi-professional career. Yet, despite his natural ability, his early journey through football's academy system was anything but smooth. Ease joined Arsenal's youth setup at age 13 but was released shortly afterward. This rejection was a heavy blow, and unfortunately, it wasn't the last. He later had short stints with Fulham, Reading, and Millwall, but none of these spells resulted in long-term stays. By age 16, Ease had been rejected by multiple clubs, and many began to doubt whether he would ever make it as a professional. But Ease refused to give up. In 2014, he joined semi-professional side Greenwich Borough, where he continued developing his technical ability and flair. Eventually, he was given another opportunity, this time with Queen's Park Rangers, QPR, who recognized his unique dribbling skills, vision, and ability to beat defenders in tight spaces. Ease signed a professional deal with QPR in August 2016, and though he was initially loaned out to Wycombe Wanderers, it was clear he possessed something special. Upon returning to QPR, he began to flourish. In the 2018-19 championship season, Ease exploded onto the scene with his ability to glide past players, dictate the tempo in midfield, and create chances seemingly out of nothing. By the 2019-20 season, he was the club's standout performer, scoring 14 goals and providing 8 assists in the league. Premier League clubs took notice. In August 2020, Crystal Palace completed the signing of Ease for a reported £17 million, a record sale for QPR at the time. His first season in the Premier League was impressive. Ease quickly established himself as one of Palace's most technically gifted players. He was unpredictable, creative, and brave, always looking to take on defenders, play progressive passes, and shoot from distance. However, in May 2021, he suffered a devastating Achilles tendon injury in training, ruling him out for several months and even costing him a likely spot in the England squad for Euro 2020. Despite that setback, Ease returned stronger. Under managers like Patrick Vieira and Oliver Glasner, he became the creative heartbeat of Crystal Palace, often operating between the lines as a number 10 or drifting in from the left flank. His combination of low center of gravity, body feints, and vision made him one of the Premier League's most watchable players. Ease also made his senior debut for England in 2023, fulfilling a dream he'd held since boyhood. Representing the Three Lions, after being rejected so many times as a teenager, symbolized the remarkable arc of his career. And now, having joined Chelsea, Ease steps into a new chapter. A London boy, returning to represent one of the capital's biggest clubs. From rejection to revival, and now, redemption in royal blue.